Hi, as I have said before, we are going to proceed into some book reviews that I have been doing in class because unfortunately I haven't been doing much leisure reading. But before I dive into the actual novels, Victorian novels, I wanted to talk about, weirdly, the publishers because I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like the editions kind of change your experience when you're reading. And I just wanted to talk to you about some of my preferences. Um, Reading these books, I really liked the Oxford version of it as opposed to the more popular Penguin choice. And I'll tell you why. Um, First of all, they have a really nice um, chrono- chronology of the writer's life. Very, very easy to read and follow, um, as opposed to a big chunk of biography in the Penguin or even the Broadview. I don't even want to go into the Broadview because the Broadview is just so not nice to read because it's so hard to flap open and make notes and put sticky notes. It's not really reader friendly if I can say that. But anyway, I really, really like this um, Oxford version um, for that reason. For the second reason, the paper is really nice. It's really to write notes on. It's really easy to flap open. It smells even good. I know that sounds weird, but again, I just felt like, yeah, I really liked it. It's just easy for me to read and everything. And look at this, like with the Shirley book, they have the actual, page cover, or yeah, I should say cover, that they had back then, and that's really, really cool. It's something that the Penguin and Broadview really doesn't do. But let's go back into the novels itself. I'll start with Gaskell, and I'll start in the order that we did it, which is the chronological order she wrote them. Mary Barton. When I was reading it, I didn't hate it. Um, Mary Barton seems like an interesting character, but once you read North and South, you're just gonna love that protagonist more. Like Margaret is so much more sophisticated. Um, and the dialogue between her and Barton is just so much more sophisticated as opposed to what Mary says with everyone. Like her dialogues with everyone is just all over the place, emotional, and um, even though in the end it kind of like ties into like, oh, it's a happy ending, but obviously North and South, character wise, development is greater, better. What am I saying? The plot, um, the whole love, political, everything was tied in so much better than Mary Barton. Um, I think a lot of critics say that, so I'm not gonna go into that. But the only thing that they said was, oh, again, it's like that, fairy tale happy ending, and nothing is really resolved here. The thing is, I don't really agree. I think things are, I wouldn't say resolved, but there is an implicit kind of message um, into how these issues of the time during the Industrial Revolution can be solved, which is through dialogue and not through radical violence or radical um, working policies or um, being tyrannical. Is guess is I guess what Gaskell is trying to say, and I totally am with her. So that is kind of Gaskell there a little bit of. Then we go into the Bronte sisters. Ha. I have never been a great fan of the Bronte sisters, but I still ain't. I'm still not. I'm still very much a Jane Austen fan. But reading Bronte's like brief biography, which I showed you, is the thing is I think she's a really remarkable woman just because her books dealt not only with love, like in Jane Eyre, and a woman's buildings woman, but also in Shirley she attempted to write politically, and talk about whether it was good or not, but and in the end she stuck with her guts, and she refused some marriage proposals, but in the end she did get married at a late age. So I mean, she's kind of like that Gaskell and Jane Austen melted, like getting all the good things melted together, and she's like this person that I kind of suddenly want to be. But anyways, let's go into Shirley and Wuthering Heights. Shirley, I just have to say, after reading North and South, this is really hard to read. The characters are just not likable. More all the curates, all the like York, everyone was just not likable. Even the protagonist, like Caroline, she's a teenage girl who's emotional, who is not decisive, and Shirley kind of is the opposite and kind of sounds like the feminist, but in the end resolves to a somewhat not interesting kind of marriage. And the length, kill me. I mean, if it's long and it's a pleasant to read, that's fine, but like probably that much of it already was about these horrible men fighting over the minute things, and so it was really difficult to read. Character-wise, plot-wise, length-wise, it was, I don't know, and the style of writing was a little bit convoluted, just because there's like the French, and then like there's the Yorkshire English, and then there's the Irish English, and then there's like, it was hard to read, basically. Hard to like, hard to read. And I'm at 8 minutes now, so why don't I start with Wuthering Heights, which I need to present tomorrow. Wuthering Heights I've read before, not a big fan of it, just because it's just so cuckoo. You don't know what Heathcliff is doing, you don't know what Catherine is doing especially. I mean, Heathcliff at least has an excuse because, okay, Hindley was bullying him. But then Catherine doesn't really have an excuse. What's her excuse? Make up your freaking mind. If you want to be with Heathcliff, be with Heathcliff. If you don't want to be with Edgar, don't be with Edgar. It would have saved us a lot of emotions. Honestly, the whole thing is just chaotic. But I think Emily Bronte made a very epic statement about these issues. And I mean, the social class issues, the domestic violence. It's just, she really did a good job writing it. And it was not too long, like Shirley. I think it was not bad to read again, but do I love the Bronte sisters? Not really. I'm still very Stephus loyal Jane Austen fan all the way. In fact, this week I watched the adaptation of Northanger Abbey again. Ha! But I still hope my presentation tomorrow will be fine. Anyways, that kind of hits the 10-minute limit. So, bye!